Hello, my loves, and welcome to another episode of the High Ticket Coach podcast. Your host here, Michelle Hext. Guys, I am in a season of creativity or creative flow where I feel like ideas are coming thick and fast. I know exactly what to do. I know exactly how to implement. Everything is flowing so well right now. And I thought that what I would do was kind of talk you through my process for getting to this place, because I know this is what we all want, right? And when we have these seasons, we need to really soak them up and make the most of them. But sometimes that can be really hard to come by, right? And I know for me and my clients and my friends that are in this space, it feels hard to come by big ideas and tapping into that creativity when we're focused on the details, when we're focused on the small things. So when we're focused on, the money you want to make this month, or trying to get clients to enroll in a certain program, or, the thing that you're focused on right now, particularly if it's not working as fast as you want or as well as you want it to, we can get caught in the detail, and that just keeps our focus so small, and we're in it, right? And when we're in it, we can't see it. And so when we remove ourselves from the detail, and I like to say we make the problem small by taking a bird's eye view. So we step right out and we have a look at, what do I want to create here over the next 12 months, for example? What is it that I want to bring to life over the next 12 months? And think big. We've got to start dreaming bigger, thinking about all the different things that we might want to do. And that's not just something that happens in one sitting, right? We want to plant the seed for that question. What do I want this to be about? Like, ultimately, where am I headed over the next 12 months, 24 months, 5 years, whatever is the right timeline for you? I always love a 12-month plan. I always know where I'm ultimately headed, but I work really well with 12 months. And so whatever time frame that is for you, think about, what can I make this about? What do I want this to be about? How can I be thinking bigger? And then we need to start exposing ourselves to different experiences so that we're not just in the same rut, right? We're not just in the same routine. We're not just dealing with the same problems every day. We're not thinking the same thoughts every day. A lot of us get caught up in Groundhog Day. Our days look very, very similar. And I am a creature of habit. I love to, train on my days and walk, and, all of those things are very much habit, and they serve me really well, and they keep me grounded. But when I'm in that space, it also gives me room to expand, because I don't have to care, don't have to be thinking about getting myself to the gym. I just train on these days and I just go. I don't have to think about, will I or won't I walk today? I just get up and I go. So habit-based stuff around lifestyle will really open that up as well. So I'm going to give you an example of, as I say, how I got to this space. So as you know, I have my She Mastermind, which I love, 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 love. And right now there is an offer on. It is only running for a few more days. So I don't even know if it's still going to be running by the time you listen to this. I'm recording it on Monday, the 6th, and I'm pretty sure the offer runs out on the 9th. So if you're listening to this late in the week, you might miss it, but there is an offer on right now. So I encourage you to go to She Mastermind, so michellehext.com/mastermind, so you don't miss out on that. I love that program. It is my life. I love it. And I love doing that work. It's working very well. That mastermind is working well. And it's time for me to start to add some more strings to my bow. And I knew this. I knew that, the mastermind is cemented, the content's created. I've just got my live calls now, and I'm in the Facebook group, a few times a week. So that's really just embedded now. It's just part of who I am, what I do. It's been running over 12 months now. It's very easy for me to run that. And so what happens is I tend to get a little bit bored when I just don't have enough things to focus on. And so, as you know, I wrote the book Six Figures in 6 Months, How to Make Your First Six Figures in 6 Months as a High Ticket Coach. Go get that book if you haven't got it yet. And I knew that a program would be developed around the concept of that book. So that's launching later this month. I'm excited about that. I know who it's for. I know exactly how it's going to run. I'm so excited about it. And that's great. But it's still more of the same, right? It's still like the work is not going to be very dissimilar to the work that I'm doing in my mastermind. The launching is not going to be too dissimilar. It's, I've launched so many programs, high ticket programs over the years, that launching a new high ticket group program is not a new thing to me. I love it. I enjoy doing the work. It lights me up, but it's not exciting, because exciting would be doing something new, right? Something that I haven't been doing. And I've been sitting in a big question over the last few months, just letting it tick away. And so, as I alluded to earlier, we've got to make this space for breakthroughs. We've got to make this space for creativity. And so I planted the seed, and the seed was, what's next? Like, what feels like a big move? What feels like a bold move? What feels like the next thing that I can really sink my teeth into and give it a really strong focus for 12 months, like I did with the mastermind, launching that, getting it together, blah, blah, blah. And so I started to expose myself to different things. I went to a couple of free events and looking at things that I don't normally look at. And I don't know if I mentioned this or not. I think I did, where I went to a speaker event and it was shit. Like, it was really bad. And if you've been in my world for a while, you'll know that I've done a lot of speaking and selling my high ticket offers from stage. It's a process that works really well for me. And the last time I did it was 2019. And then obviously COVID hit in 2020, and that kind of put a stop to things. And then I just forgot about it. And when I went to that speaker event and they were using the same model that I was using, I came away thinking, I want to do this again. And then I just continue to plant the seed about, okay, so I know that's what I want to do. I know I want to start speaking again. I know I want to get back on stage and start selling offers from stage again, but something hadn't clicked into place. And it's like, okay, I know what I want to do, but what's the topic? Like, what do I want the topic to be about? And I was trying to make it fit the Six Figures in 6 Month offer, and I was trying to make it fit the mastermind offer. And it's like, it doesn't feel like it. And it's like, that's okay, it'll come. And I threw it out to the universe, let the idea come. And I started thinking about the process of bringing the event back to life. So I created myself a checklist, all the things that I know I need to do to be able to pull the trigger on a live event and run it, and the ball is rolling, essentially. And as I was doing it, it's like, oh, have I still got Coach on Stage registered? I registered a URL, coachonstage.com, years ago. And I went and it had expired, and I'm like, oh shit. So I ran in, checked, and it was still available. So I repurchased it. And Coach on Stage has been born. And so February next year, I'm going to be running the first of my live events and launching a new product, which is this whole system around creating high ticket offers and then building your own audiences, running a killer workshop and selling from stage. It's a whole system. And so going to that event was a bit of a catalyst, but it wasn't everything, because I needed to give it more space. And I'll be honest, when I came back from that event, it's like, right, I'm booking the venue, I'm going to dive in, I'm going to get started right away. And the idea wasn't fully formed. And then I saw that I had a restriction around my ads. I think somebody, maybe a competitor, has bitched about my ads. So they've capped my spending at like $39 a day. You can't fill an event on $39 a day. And so I thought, I'm not going to be able to do it in November. It's like, that's okay. Focus on other things. Do it in February. If I had have done it in November, it wouldn't have been the same product, because the idea wasn't fully formed. My ads would have already been running. I would have been getting ready to run it by now. the coach on stage thing hadn't clicked in. And as I was mapping out the syllabus for what the whole thing would look like, oh my God, like the energy that has been flowing through me ever since, because this is it. It's like it's me and my sweet spot. It's building systems. So, when you look at speaker events, most speaker events, they just teach you how to be a good speaker. When you're a coach selling from stage, you don't actually need to be a good speaker. Like, you just need to know your shit, right? And you need to know how to present it, which is part of what I'll be teaching. But there is this, there's a lot of speaker trainings out there, but they don't build out the whole ecosystem from the offer through to getting on stage, through the sales process, through the ads, through the funnels, through everything. And this is something that I've done successfully so many times. And it's so interesting, right? I look back to some of the events that I ran in 2017, I think it was. And I'm looking at the audiences that I created and the sales that I did, and I felt like I was failing. And it was so successful. We just always, when you set the bar high, you never, most of the time you don't hit it because it's so ridiculously high. And then you don't give yourself credit for what you do actually achieve, which is phenomenal, right? Compared to the average person or the average industry person, right? And so I've gone back and I've looked at my numbers, I've looked at my stats, I've looked at the audiences. It's now my screensaver on my every device that I have, reminding me of, look at what this was like. Look at what you did. There's pictures of me on stage and engaging with the members and the audience, and you can just see how excited and lit up I am. And I thought, this is a system. I know how to do this, and I'm going to teach the system because it works. And the event that I went to, they're still running that system. So it's obviously working for them too. And I know I'll do it 100 times better. I just know the product is incredible. I know the workshop is going to be amazing. The venue is going to be amazing. I look back at all of those events that I ran here and in the US and over 2 different topics, and, just looking at how much experience I've got there, how much knowledge I have, how much I have to give and teach, and it clicked into place. It's like, this is the product. It's Coach on Stage. And now I'm spending every single day working on the syllabus and working on the slides for that first presentation. I'm starting to put the ad images and the ad copy together. And it's just, I'm so in love with this process. And it's not happening till February, but it feels like a snowball. It feels like it's picking up speed, and it's gathering speed, and it's gathering so many things along the way, because when we have momentum, everything else works out. So other things that I'm selling are selling more. Other opportunities are coming thicker and faster because I'm in this energy, right? It's magnetic. It's magnetic as fuck. And this is the energy we want to be in. This is this creative, magnetic energy. And it's ironic that I'm online less than I ever have been, and more tapped in and in tune with what I'm doing and where I'm going. My blinkers are on. I'm not looking at anything else. I know what I'm creating, and it's magical. And so this is where we want to be. And this is the perfect time of the year to be in this place, because we get to pull the curtain back and have a look at what's in store for us, what we're able to create in 2024. Right now, I'm open. I've been able to have a look at a glimpse into 2024 and see what that looks like. I get to build the vision around that now, and I get to just go full steam ahead. There's so much that needs to be done between now and then. And it's exciting. It doesn't feel like work. It's, that vibe, right? When you just can't tear yourself away from the work you're doing because it just feels so good. It's so amazing. And we can get into that place, right? So let's go back to the topic, right? How to get into that, how to make room for breakthroughs and creativity, how to open up that flow. The first thing that we need to do is realize that we're in it, right? We're in it. We're in whatever we're struggling through or dealing with or trying to get working right now. And when we're in that space, we're in the problem and we can't see beyond it. So, what we need to do is plant a seed, ask the question, what's next? What's a bold move? What's something big that I can sink my teeth into? What feels big and exciting and juicy? And just plant the seed and take yourself out, do other things, get out of your office, away from your desk, put the laptop down, get out in nature, go and take yourself out to lunch, go and do other things, be in other environments, soak up other energies. And this is going to trigger something in you that'll be like, oh, pay attention, right? Pay attention for the nudge. Like this was like such a nudge. When I went to that event, I kind of had a feeling before I went to the event that I was getting back on this horse. And then there was a tug, and it's like, oh, yeah, it's definitely going to be this. And then when it clicked into place, the coach on stage, it was like, oh, it's it. And so it kind of takes three steps, right? It's kind of this, what's next? And then I've got a sense it might be something around this, and like click, yes, that's it. Still a few details missing, and then clunk, it drops into place. It can't do that if you're thinking the same thoughts every minute of the day that you've been thinking, if you're sitting in the same environments all day, every day, if you're dealing with the same problems day in, day out, you can't have access to that higher level thinking. So you have to plant the seed in terms of the question, expose yourself to different environments, check out what's out there, go get out. You don't have to expose yourself to business events and things necessarily, although, they're always good. But just being around different people, just getting out and doing something different, go and train at a different gym, go and eat, have your coffee at a different cafe, go and buy a new journal and drive an hour somewhere and sit somewhere you've never been before, somewhere fancy, and just daydream. And the idea will come to you. And when the idea comes to you, you'll feel it. It'll be this nudge. So pay attention, because when we plant that seed, our mind then starts to seek, right? It starts to seek. It knows it's looking for something, and it's seeking and it's seeking and it's seeking, and it's looking for it on a subconscious level, and it will slam into you at some point if you give yourself the space, if you give yourself, the mental and physical space for it to come in. And when it hits, do not second guess it. Do not second guess it. Start to take action on it right away. Start to expand the vision. Expand the vision as far as you can make it go. And then ask yourself, okay, what's next or what's missing? And just wait for it to fall into place. You will know it. And when it happens, trust it and follow your nose. I've been doing this forever, right? I've been in this game a long time, decades. And this has always been my process. And this has always been why I continue to evolve and expand and to level up, because I'm always doing this. I'm always looking for what's next. And then when it lands, I don't second guess it. I don't question it. It's like, this is it. This is the thing that I'm doing. And then I go all in on it. So that is my recipe, I guess, for letting the creative energy, creative flow come into our lives. Like, we need this. I remember back at school, creativity was always synonymous with being artistic. And I was always telling myself for years and years and years, I'm not creative. I'm not creative. I'm creative in that I write, but I didn't feel like I was a creative person until it dawned on me one day. My canvas is my business. My canvas is the way that I get to have ideas come to me, and then I'm able to bring them to life in forms of programs, and the canvas, like the finished product, is a sales page that says everything that I want it to say and looks the way that I want it to say, and all of those things. And creativity, since I've realized that creativity is important and I actually do have it, it's something that I rely on. It's the process of getting things off the ground for me, but I need to have the idea and get creative about how I represent that idea or articulate that idea. So yeah, maybe you're one of those people who feels like you're not creative, but maybe you just need to reframe that. What does creativity look like in business for you? What does it mean to be creative in your business? And the thing with creativity, when we're in this creative flow, we're having fun, right? And we can forget to have fun in our business. And when we're not having fun, everything feels hard, the energy feels heavy, and we stagnate. So we've got to be having fun. Our business should feel light and fun and exciting and something that we look forward to. I'm going to bed every night with a million thoughts about my events running through my head. I wake up and the first thought is February. And I start to think about what's on stage. Like every time I wake up, there's phrases running through my mind about how I'm opening the speaking event. I just know the first words that I'm going to say. And more bits of content are coming to me every day because I'm waking up with, oh, and now I've got to say this. And so I race out and I write it down. And yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful energy. And it's a perfect time of the year to have it. So open that creative flow and get out of the day-to-day stuff, get out of the day-to-day detail and problem solving and thinking, and expand out of it, because this is what's going to give you the energy that you want going into 2024. And before I go, I need to remind you that my Success Planning Bootcamp is kicking off later this month, and you can join by going to michellehext.com/bootcamp, and that will take you to the bootcamp page. So my Success Planning Bootcamp is like, I love doing these things. So what we do is I jump on a Zoom call and you guys all come onto the Zoom, and I also have a Facebook group that's a pop-up group, and we workshop in real time. So typically what I do is we go through a bit of an audit for the last 12 months. Like what did you learn? What needs to stay? What can you use? And what needs to go? Like what do we need to just release? What do we need to stop doing? What do we need to let go? And that gives us a bit of a clean slate. And then from there, I get you thinking about, the question that I just asked you. What do you want? What's next? Like, what do you want the next 12 months to be about? What feels big and scary and exciting and fulfilling? Like, what feels like that? And then we start to build out your game plan. And for this particular Success Bootcamp, it's called Born to Lead. And so it's really having you step up as a leader in your business. And I'm going to be sharing with you when and how to hire people to get some help over the next 12 months, if that's what you need to do, and develop systems and processes so that when you bring on staff, that feels like an easy thing to do. And so you're going to have a really clear picture of your 2024 vision. You're going to have a game plan. You're going to have a hiring plan as well. And you're going to know what it looks like. You're going to know the milestones. You're going to know what you need to do to bring that to life. And that's going to be your blueprint going into 2024. So if you haven't started planning your 2024 yet, I highly recommend that you do it. I've got the early bird running at the moment, so it's under $50 to join, and you have lifetime access to the workshop and the workbook and all the bits and pieces that go with it. So pull out the credit card, go there now, go get yourself signed up. And this is a workshop that you're going to want to do, a few times a year probably, because we evolve so quickly. So you might get through, here, and you might get to April, May, something like that. And you're like, oh, I feel like things are shifting. I feel like I need to dial up the vision. You can go back and redo it. Or you can do it annually. You can do it every 6 months. You've got it there for life. So you can do that planning workshop whenever you need to. And the fastest track to next level success is clarity. And you're going to get a lot of clarity. You're also going to have a lot of, things that you've been hanging on to that we need to just let go and release so that you can go unencumbered into 2024. Anyway, that is it for this week. I will see you next week. Have an amazing week, and I'll be back next Monday. Bye for now.